Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Klemp here. Guess who else I have here with me today? As you can see on my screen, it's Eddie and Frankie. Mrs. Coward took a video of them and shared it with me so that I could sing a song with you today. And the song is called Eddie and Frankie. Imagine that, right? So I'm going to play the video so we can see Eddie and Frankie. And we're going to sing about them. And the song just goes like this. It's pretty easy. Eddie and Frankie are guinea pigs. Eddie and Frankie are guinea pigs. Eddie and Frankie are guinea pigs. They're silly, silly guinea pigs. So we're just going to sing a few verses about what Eddie and Frankie like to do. What do you think that they like to do? They're pretty calm on this video, but I've heard from Mrs. Coward that they'd like to run around. Okay, so we're going to sing Eddie and Frankie Like to Run Around. All right, join me if you can. Eddie and Frankie like to run around. Eddie and Frankie like to run around. Eddie and Frankie like to run around. They're silly, silly guinea pigs. What else do you see that they like to do? Yeah, they like to eat their food. Let's sing that. Eddie and Frankie like to eat their food. Eddie and Frankie like to eat their food. Eddie and Frankie like to eat their food. They're silly, silly guinea pigs. I've heard that they like to sleep. I'm not sure if it's all day, but we're going to sing Eddie and Frankie like to sleep all day. All right, here we go. Eddie and Frankie like to sleep all day. Eddie and Frankie like to sleep all day. Eddie and Frankie like to sleep all day. They're silly, silly guinea pigs. Yep, and if they're sleeping all day, then they're up at night, right? Yep, so they like to play all night. Let's sing that. Eddie and Frankie like to play all night. Eddie and Frankie like to play all night. Eddie and Frankie like to play all night. They're silly, silly guinea pigs. One thing that I heard they like to do when you walk in their room is they like to squeak. So Eddie and Frankie like to squeak, squeak, squeak. Here we go. Eddie and Frankie like to squeak, squeak, squeak. Eddie and Frankie like to squeak, squeak, squeak. Eddie and Frankie like to squeak, squeak, squeak. They're silly, silly guinea pigs. It's hard to sing squeak, squeak, squeak 3 times fast, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Let's see. What else do Eddie and Frankie like to do? It looks like they're doing a lot of sniffing. Eddie and Frankie like to sniff, sniff, sniff. Can we do that one? Eddie and Frankie like to sniff, sniff, sniff. Eddie and Frankie like to sniff, sniff, sniff. Eddie and Frankie like to sniff, sniff, sniff. They're silly, silly guinea pigs. All right. What else do we think they like to do? They like to hide, don't they? Eddie and Frankie like to hide away. Let's do hide away. Eddie and Frankie like to hide away. Eddie and Frankie like to hide away. Eddie and Frankie like to hide away. They're silly, silly guinea pigs. All right. I'm wondering how much time is left on the video. We have over a minute to go, so let's think of a few more verses. How about Eddie and Frankie like to climb their cage? I don't know if they climb. I should ask Mrs. Coward. We'll see. All right, let's sing that. Eddie and Frankie like to climb their cage. Eddie and Frankie like to climb their cage. Eddie and Frankie like to climb their cage. They're silly, silly guinea pigs. Can you think of anything else that they might like to do? Yeah, you can sing anything else that you want to sing for sure. But I know one thing, pretty sure of one thing. I'm pretty sure that Eddie and Frankie are missing you. So we're going to sing that last. Excuse me. Eddie and Frankie are missing you. Eddie and Frankie are missing you. Eddie and Frankie are missing you. They're silly, silly guinea pigs. Wasn't it fun to watch them today? I don't know if you've seen any more about them, if Mrs. Coward is putting them on Facebook. I guess I haven't seen that. Or doing Zoom meetings with you and you get to see Eddie and Frankie, but there they are. We got to see Eddie and Frankie. I thank Mrs. Cowart for sharing that video with me, and I thank you all for singing along with me today. So we're going to say goodbye to Eddie and Frankie, and I'm saying goodbye to you, and I'll see you again next week. Take care, everybody.